So you're a life insurance agent and you're tired of constantly getting objections, rejections, hang-ups, and let me think about it. You're grinding, showing up, dialing, and still not closing like you know you should. No worries, that doesn't mean you're not cut out for this. It just means you don't have the right framework yet. I'm about to cover every single common objection that all agents are hearing. I'm Ryan Valet, your FExpert or final expense expert. I've actually made 20 grand a month for 3+ years as an agent off of client booked appointments only. My goal now is to help as many agents as I can understand how to truly make a living selling final expense life insurance. Whether you're sitting at your desk in a cubicle or dialing in your underwear at home. I want you to pause this right now and drop your toughest objection down in the comments below. While you're there, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified of all my videos. Okay, it's so important that you don't rely on objection handlers. How you do that is by following the script and actively listening to your client to prevent objections. However, I am realistic and sometimes objections still come up, and I'm going to give you exactly what to say on every common objection there is. Now get your notepad out and write some shit down. The first handler you can use is, that's great. Were you looking to add to it or see if you can save some money? Whenever they say this, it's just a smokescreen. And saying this is more of a pattern interrupt. But in all reality, they filled out the request, so they must be looking for something. And if they already got it, then this will lead them into saying, no, I've already got it in place and you can deal with that. Another thing you can say is, that's why I'm calling. Which one of our companies did you go with again? A bit of a longer response is, now, Janice, the last thing your family wants is for you to not have what you thought. I would actually rather you be right about your coverage, but what if it's wrong? If you're already in the best position, then worst case scenario, you have confirmation of that. This is super important. If you do find out who they have, then don't go barging in asking, what's the payment? How much? What's the coverage? What's your policy number? Tell them, okay, so what's most important for you to know is that if we can find something that makes sense, great. But if you're in the best position, at least you have that confirmation. So I'm going to help you like my mom, dad, brother, sister. Remember, the things you say in the beginning or to an objection like this, it's really important to be warm and inviting that you're here to help them. Next objection is, I'm not interested. Okay, are you not interested because you won't qualify or because you think it's too expensive? Let them answer. No matter what the answer is, that's what I'm here for and why I can help. Again, the majority of objection handlers are just pattern interrupts. Go right back into the script where you left off after you interrupt them. Next one is, I'm too busy. Hey, look, Janice, I'm really busy too, and this doesn't actually take too long, which is why I'm calling right now. Remember, sometimes people are busy. However, most of the time, it's again, just a smokescreen. So you have to get past that and let them know, look, I'm not going to keep you on the phone for hours. You have to let them know that you're a busy person too. And that if you don't get on the phone now, I may not be available next time. Another option is, oh yeah, I completely understand what it's like to be interrupted. Another option is, yeah, I completely understand what it's like to be interrupted. It only takes a few moments and I'll have you right off the phone. Another option is, oh, I totally get it. I'm really busy too, which is why we need to get this done now. Plus, we can get all those spam calls to stop. Next objection is, what's the price? This one can be a little tougher sometimes because people are just trying to rush you into getting a quote and getting you off the phone because they think that that's all that matters and they're just going to think about it. Well, these are professional procrastinators, so you have to talk to them and get them to understand. So yeah, I totally understand, and price is important. My goal is to find something based on your specific needs and that it fits perfectly into your budget. And then just jump right back into the script. You gotta love the, I gotta think about it. So there's obviously a couple different ways to handle it, but the one that I really like is to make them feel guilty. Because I've spent this time with you, you should feel guilty that you are now wasting my time. So I just respond with, yeah, usually when people want to think about it, they either think the price is too high or the coverage isn't enough, or maybe I did something wrong. And if I did something wrong, please let me know because my intention is to take care of you like you're my own family. This oftentimes will get them to feel like, oh man, I hurt this guy's feelings, or man, he thinks that he did something wrong. No, I just don't like the price. This is very likely to get them to tell you what is actually wrong, which is the price is high or they want more coverage. And then you can go into that and explain to them why they can't get it, or maybe, hey, look, we can work with this, that, or the other. Another one that I'll use occasionally is, so, well, that's fine, Janice. I can understand why you feel that way, but when you say I need to think about it, how do you mean? So I use this one kind of sparingly because it really has to be in the right moment. I wouldn't use it every single time, but it is really good when you find the right moment. This is very similar to the last one, and that is just, okay, so besides price, is there any other issue that needs to be addressed before making a decision? Again, the whole goal here is to find out what the real problem is. Why do you want to think about it? So you just got to ask better questions to dig at that. The next one is 99.9% of the time a complete smokescreen. And that is, I need to talk to my kids. Me personally, I know that 99.9% of the time, that's just a front. And they just want to get me off the phone. They don't want to tell me that they don't want to do it. And I just simply respond with, oh, I'm sorry, Janice. I didn't realize that you can't pay for this. Or, oh, I'm sorry, Janice. I didn't realize that your kids pay your bills for you. By saying either one of these, this almost gets their goat a little bit. And they're like, whoa, 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 I'm a big girl. I can handle this on my own. So get them agitated a little bit about it, because you know what? It's not going to matter at this point. They're just trying to get you off the phone. Or they're going to be like, no, that's not the problem. It's this, that, and the other. And then you find out that it is a real thing, right? That they have for the last 10 years, that they've had some money problems and they talk to their son every single time. That does happen, but it's a rare occasion. Now, a response that's a little bit on the lighter side is, the only reason why any of my clients would need to speak with their kids first is because their kids are going to have to pay for the policy. Otherwise, the whole point is to protect your kids from the burden of your final expenses. Isn't that right? Act like, really? That's stupid. Like, why wouldn't you want to get something in place for your kids? Another complete smokescreen is, my kids are going to take care of it. And again, 99.9% of the time, this is a load of crap. I just kind of come back to get their goat, which is, you're actually going to put the burden all on them? Like, really? You're going to make this their problem? You obviously don't care about them. And I've literally had people respond with, well, yeah, I took care of them all their life. They can take care of me. I'm sorry, but that is a suspect, and you need to just let them go. Now, if they come back with something else, the whole goal is to get them to express what the real objection is. Now, the next one is getting a little deeper into the call, which is, I'm not giving you my social security number. This is fairly simple. Oftentimes I don't run into it because of the questioning and the prepping that I'm doing throughout the script. That is all in the script that we provide all of our agents. You should be able to sniff this one out with all the questions that we ask. But it does have the occasion where you run into it and you just say, yeah, I can understand that. And here's the thing. So you know you need the coverage, right? And you don't want to leave that huge burden on your family or kids, right? So in order for you to get approved at the best rate, every company has to pull medical records. Every single carrier out there who's going to get you the best rate is going to use your social for this. And I can promise you that your privacy is 100% safe with the carrier. And I have a family feed. Your information is not worth me never seeing my kids again. Let them know, for God's sakes, that you have people that you care about, and their measly $100 a month is not worth going to jail for. The next one is very similar to the social, which is, I'm not giving you my bank account. Yeah, I totally understand, Janice. And here's the thing. So you know you need the coverage, right? And you don't want to leave that huge burden on your family or kids. In order to get approved at the best rate, every company has to set you up on a monthly auto withdrawal for billing. All carriers who actually pay out this because they don't want you to forget your payment. I can promise you your privacy is 100% safe with the carrier, and I have a family to feed. Your information is not worth me never seeing my kids again. So notice in this one where I talk about how carriers that actually pay out. There are a few rare carriers out there that'll let you pay by monthly bill, but they don't have the best rates. And then on top of it, it's not worth them going through all that hassle and then them winding up losing coverage. You're doing what's best by getting them to commit to putting their account on file. Now, this is one that happens oftentimes earlier on in the call, and that is, I just want a quote. And very simply, I typically respond with, that's exactly what I'm here to help you with. And then I get right back into the script. I just basically acknowledge it and ignore it. If somebody really wants a quote, there's plenty of places to go online to just get a quote. Now, if I've got somebody who has just been really obstinate or really irritating me, I will come back with, when you're ready to actually get approved for coverage, I can give you quotes from over 26 different carriers. Let me know if that interests you. Now, that is really blunt, I know. However, if you do not seem like you're working with me, I'm not about to start working with you. And I'm not going to give you just what you want. It is not worth just giving you a quote when you've been rude to me. Now, if you understand, hey, look, I'm trying to do my job and I go through the process, then great. I'm going to be cordial to you. However, if you're going to be rude, I'm going to be rude right back. The next one's a little more rare, but it does happen where they say, well, I've got assets or a house or a 401k. As far as someone having a house, I just say, well, houses don't sell in 30 days. And if they do, it's for pennies on the dollar. Do you think a funeral director really wants to wait 90 days or more to get paid? They will actually want payment within 30 days or less. 401k, you can just tell them that 401ks almost always wind up in probate. And again, your funeral director is going to want to be paid sooner than that. When it comes to assets, I mean, if someone's really got a lot of assets, then why the hell are you looking into insurance anyway? Sniff that out. Get them to tell you, yeah, I've got 4 boats they can sell for $2 million, whatever it may be. And if they've got that, the next question is, well, why are you looking for insurance? I want everybody to realize that don't think just because you're getting an objection, you can't sniff out a suspect. Sometimes whenever you get objections, that's when you sniff out the worst suspects. Now, when dealing with final expense, it's pretty rare that you run into this, but if you ever do, it's I want mortgage protection. So the first thing that you have to figure out is if they qualify. So I just respond with, perfect. Have you ever tried to qualify? And if they say no, then you just move on to quoting them some term, but you have to get an idea if they're actually going to qualify. If you don't know what to do here, get help from your mentor. Now, the flip side of that is, yes, and I didn't qualify. Easy way to respond is, perfect. So we've actually got what's called critical time period coverage. And essentially what that is you figuring out how much their budget is and how much coverage they can get. And that coverage is then divided by what their monthly mortgage payments are. So say $100 a month and that'll get them $25,000. Well, then you just figure out how many months will that $25,000 actually cover their mortgage. And you just say, hey, look, this will cover you for X amount of months and allow your children or your family to sell your house in the meantime. But if they don't qualify for the term, which is, again, keep in mind, really hard to qualify for, especially for seniors, if they don't qualify for it, let them know. And let them know that you're still here to help and you can get them this coverage. So the last one can come at any time. I think oftentimes probably comes in the beginning, but I've heard it after I give the quotes. Oh, well, I just can't afford it. Okay, so this is where you have to be very upfront and honest with them and just say, so can I be very frank with you, Janice? Do you think your family would actually prefer to spend $15,000 on your funeral or $5,000? Because either way, you are going to have to pay for coverage or they are going to have to pay in full for a funeral. Janice, I want you to realize that if you say you can't afford it now, then your family can't afford to not have it. And if they come back at that point and just say, well, I don't have any money and I am not going to be able to pay for it. Again, sniff that suspect out and let them go and say, hey, look, whenever you get some more money in the budget, by all means, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to help you. Remember, strive for progress, not perfection. See you guys in the next one.